If you have any questions for Eric, make sure you give us a call at 1-800-336-2225. What were you saying that we should set up for our audience?
We should just let people... Eric should talk a little bit about who he is and, on what authority he's talking about getting an agent, right?
Sure.
Right. So yes. So my name's Eric. I'm a server. I still serve 4 days a week. And but in every other spare moment of my life, I am obsessed with booking TV and commercials. My time is spent submitting on projects, writing postcards, writing cover letters. I try to do what my budget will allow, which right now is basically like 2 headshot cover letters and a resume. Very involved in marketing.
What, a day, a week?
A day.
A day.
I try it right now. It's like 3 days a week. I do so about 6 a week because then that kind of totals out to whatever that is times 4, 24. I have yet to see a result.
What makes you keep doing it?
Yeah, you're persistent.
Well, I do change it up. The first week I was sending out a certain set of headshots. In the third, month or the second month, I changed those headshots, and now I've changed them again. I just reprinted 50 more. So, try to tailoring it as much as possible to the right project. I utilize castingabout.com, Actors Access, IMDb Pro. I cross-reference everything. The reason why I started to do 2 was, as opposed to what most actors I think do, is do like 50 and then like don't do it ever again, is because, and I've done that several times, and has had no results. Sometimes I'll get like a bite, which is typically good from what I've told. Like you do 50, you get 1, that's a success. Mm-hmm. And I believe that is a success. But so yeah, I would do 2 and wait, where did I got off track here. What did you say? What did I?
You were talking about...
I said, what makes you keep doing it despite, like, not... If you haven't gotten results, what is it that keeps you...
Yes.
Is it just... Are you just going on faith, or...
Faith? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, so I try to make my cover letters now as specific as to the recipient as possible. So before, there was a generalized cover letter, a stock cover letter that I would use, and I'm obsessed with cover letters. I've become obsessed with marketing. I want to learn more about it, and I wish if I could do college again, which I may still do, I would pursue marketing because I think it's a wonderful field, and I think it's hand in hand with how an actor like myself that is a nobody, that is not a Spielberg or a Cruise or a Pitt. I wasn't born into a family, where it's much simpler for them because they're just born on networking. For somebody like me, I have to really figure out a way to break in. So, every casting director that I do submit to, I Google them. I try to find if they've done an interview, and I try to pick out, something in that interview that has affected me, and I'll try to re-say it in that cover letter. For example, I wrote to, I can't remember what show it was, but it was a team of casting directors, a woman and a woman, and I found both interviews of them, and they both said the most overall thing that they hate when actors do is that they wear a lot of cologne or perfume. They come into a nice room and it's filled with perfume. So I wrote them and I said specifically, read your interview on Backstage West or whatever I found it on. I promised to only wear 1 shot of Axe hairspray, Axe spray, a little bit of leave-in conditioner, and that is it.
So you research them and you really find out a little bit about them, and then you tailor your letter to that.
I do as much as I possibly can, and if there is information available on them, I feel it's kind of like that faith principle that my odds have increased a little bit. Now, some casting directors are a dead end. You try to find information about them, it's impossible. Mm-hmm. And so I try to, same thing when I select doing casting director workshops. If that casting director doesn't have, quote unquote, one office that they work out of, or they have multiple email addresses, or it's so hard to get in contact or mail things to them, I kind of just like, it's probably not worth it unless they see me read and they're like, we want you for this current project, which has just never happened. So I try to make sure whoever I can mail to or subscribe to or whatever, that they are in fact able to be subscribed to, that they're not these people that, because casting directors, there are a lot of independent contractors themselves, and they move office to office. It doesn't denigrate what their project is, or disintegrate what their project is, or devalue it in any way. They just, have like a nomadic lifestyle, which just makes them harder to track versus the ones that sort of stay in one area.
This is good advice for anybody that's interested in coming out to LA and being an actor. Eric,
my advice to people who want to come out to LA and be an actor is don't.
Yeah, it's tough. You really have to become, it's really tough. It's a tough world. You have to have a thick skin, and rejection is a part of it. love to talk more about that as well. Because it's tough. It's tough out here.
Well, thanks so much for coming in and talking to us and giving some great advice. We appreciate it.
No problem.
Eric Satterberg. Find him on IMDb, ERICSATTERBERG.
Or just put that into a URL, ericsatterberg.com.
Twitter, Facebook, IMDb, MySpace,
I'm everywhere.
FacePlace.
He's got it all. And
Friendster.
we also have an Indiegogo account at indiegogo.com/La La Land Talk Season 2, the number 2.
We'll be back with Julie Garnier after the break.
On La La Land with Brett and Daisy on CRN Digital Talk.